Fresh Brownies.
Welcome back to Chapter 3, the final chapter, Sword of Solaria. Watch your head! Rav helped Celeste inside the shuttle, then set the coordinates for takeoff on the monitor next to them. Wait, aren't you coming? She spoke up, but the desperation on his face said it all. Please, Grandpa, don't leave me, I'm scared, she cried as he prepared to close the hatch on her. Celeste, we don't have any more time, he begged, not wanting to avert his gaze from her watering eyes. Please, she whimpered again as he thought hard on it. Fine! His conscience caved in as her face lit up with relief. Okay, move over. We have to leave quick. He placed one foot inside the pod while lowering the hatch behind him. Too slow. A firm hand clawed into his shoulder blade. Huh? Slam! Black Star ripped him away from the shuttle as he skid horribly along the ground. What a shame. He was much easier to kill than the first one. Too bad. And here I wanted him to suffer. I guess I'll have to take my time with you. The woman loomed over Celeste with her arm cocked back in a spear-like fashion. Celeste leaned against her seat, petrified in terror. Now die! Wham! Black Star was tackled to the ground as Kai barreled through her like a freight train. Get off me! She wriggled out of his merciless grip, digging her knee into his chest and springing into a defensive stance. Bastard! You're stronger than I remember, she teased his past while he gauged her power, sensing she was still holding back her true strength. Dad, are you okay? Kai yelled as his father wobbled to his feet. Yeah, just dislocated my shoulder. Crack! Ugh! Rav groaned, with sweet relief popping it back in place. I can never get used to that, he sighed before resting his eyes on the seductive villain before him. You want to introduce me to your friend? Rav admired her sensual curves. Turns out we've already met, Kai relayed her message. Really? I think I'd remember that. The old man glanced at her backside. Dad! Kai snapped at him. Yeah, I'm here. Rav sighed with embarrassment. I'll take pleasure in killing you both, Black Star threatened as they circled her. You're not the first to try. Kai signaled for Rav to wait on his command. My king, I have your sword! A strained voice emerged from the cloud of smoke. Roland? Rav gasped with astonishment. Turns out the young captain had escaped through an underground service tunnel that led him to the back end of the palace after retrieving the ancient sword of Solaria whilst the castle collapsed. He dashed as fast as he could while carrying the heavy archaic blade, which was made from the strongest red steel in existence. I'm coming! He hurtled over broken columns and debris, scaling the launch pad. Who is this? Black Star turned her head with annoyance while Kai quickly took advantage of her amateur mistake. Now! He dashed to the shuttle as she instantly took notice in spite of her own distraction. Come back here, she snapped at him while Rav snuck up from behind, locking his arms around her waist in a vice grip. What was it you said to me? Oh, right. Too slow! He arced back with incredible force. No! She torqued her body in mid-lift, swinging her elbow into his callous face. Crunch! The king felt the bridge of his nose crack and taste of warm, unsavory copper run down his lips as she slipped through his grasp. That was a cheap shot. Just wait till He paused with bewilderment to discover she was gone. Meanwhile, Kai arrived at his daughter's side just in time. Daddy, I'm scared. Don't leave me, Celeste begged. Don't worry. I'll find you. He slammed the door hatch shut. I'll find you, she echoed, watching him run to the control pad and activate the countdown. Wait, Dad! She banged on the glass, but her plea fell on deaf ears. 30, 29, 28. The shuttle billowed with smoke below it. Look out! Celeste cried as Kai felt a surge of air blast against his sweltering skin. Take this! Black Star appeared from behind, unleashing a ferocious kick his way. Smash! She shattered the launch controller to pieces. No! He gripped her body and in one motion tossed her in the air like a discus. Poof! Black Star miraculously vanished back to the ground. Please tell me I'm not the only one who just saw that? Rob rubbed his eyes with disbelief. Yeah, she can teleport. Kai realized he was up against a demon in disguise and unlike anything he had ever faced. Give up or die. Those are your only options. Kai warned for the last time, as all three men carefully triangulated their positions around her for a final onslaught attack. How kind. That's one more option than what I'm giving you, Black Star snarled back at them. You seek the guardians that destroyed your home, yet I have no memory of this, and my father has never done such a thing. So who are you really? He interrogated as she raised her fists in a boxer stance. I am the justice you were never served. You took my family, and now I will take yours. She stared with hatred. Kai stared her down, trying to recall who this could be, while Roland signaled to his master. He was ready on command as the rocket entered its final seconds before takeoff. Now! Rav called out as he and Roland both attacked Black Star from behind. Fools. She delivered a southpaw to the knight, but he flipped over her with a blaze of fire under his feet, executing a vicious axe kick to the back of her skull that he easily dodged, followed with a combination of jabs to keep her off balance. Wham! Pow! He and Rav worked in tandem as they lowered her defenses. Enough! She blasted a savage right hook into Rav's gut. Ah! He stumbled back, but unbeknownst to her, this was all part of their plan as Roland moved in to deliver the final blow. Phoenix Strike! He threw a hard right jab that left a trail of fire. Whoa! Black Star instinctively caught his arm and flipped him over her shoulder that sent him crashing to the ground. Wham! His body became imprinted in the stone. Ha! She snickered. But wait, the sword was gone. Roland opened his eyes and smirked at her. Where is it? She sensed something was off. Aerial strike! Rav cried from above as he zoned in on her like a missile. No! She couldn't dodge him fast enough as his blade sliced the air in two and sent shockwaves from impact. Crack! Her helmet split in half before hitting the ground with a mighty thud. Her short, lustrous, dark hair tumbled atop her shoulders, revealing a matured, yet beautiful face with skin the color of cool steel and lips the shade of blackberries. Her powerful silver eyes were seasoned with war, while a deep scar was slashed across her brow. Rav held his position with the sword still over her. Give up yet? Pop! His victory was cut short as a web of splinters spread throughout the blade and shattering to the floor like glass. What the hell just happened? This is the strongest sword in the galaxy! Rav shrieked in disbelief as Black Star raised her hand in front of his chest. I'm not from your galaxy, she admitted with a sly grin. Rav's mouth dropped in shock as an orb of dark energy emitted from her fingertips, causing the world around him to slow down. His molecules jittered, and skin pulled towards the spectrum. Espherisa. The final words faded as he became deaf to his own demise before glancing at his son for the last time with a look of deep regret. I'm sorry, Rav whispered, unable to do more. Then in one heart-stopping beat, the blast obliterated him from existence. Kaboom! No! Kai roared as he watched his father disappear forever. Grandpa! Celeste cried out, banging on the glass door, witnessing the death of a loved one for the first time. Black Star turned to Kai with unyielding rage, her silver eyes now filled like pools of ink. You monster! He recognized her face for all eternity. Beep, beep, beep. 10, 9, 8. She stepped towards the shuttle. No! Roland snagged her leg in desperation to save Celeste. You! She scoffed while Kai rushed in to help. 7, 6, 5. The ship rattled on top of the ground. You've done enough. Black Star twisted Roland's arm, locking it firmly in place. Take a break! Crack! Her heel snapped his elbow joint in two. Ah! He cringed as the metal from his suit cut through the flesh. Stop! Kai dove at her, but she vanished right through him. 4, 3. Damn it! She's too fast! He clenched his fist, unable to catch her as she approached the ship. That's it. His knuckles burned with a spectrum of colors as he struck the floor with his famous technique. Solar Punch! Wham! The stone cracked like a hammer from the gods. Now, child, Whoa! Black Star's threat was interrupted as the platform crumbled beneath her feet. 2, 1. The bottom of the shuttle turned the launch pad into a sea of smoke before rocketing into the air. You will not get away! Black Star battled against the gale-force wind as she opened her hand where another sphere of dark energy appeared. Take this! She hurled it towards the shuttle. Damn it! Kai leapt after it, leaving a trail of fire beneath his boots. Daddy! Celeste screamed as the beam careened ever closer. Celeste! Kai used every last ounce of power he had to intercept the attack when a blinding white light filled the air. Boom! Damn. So close, Black Star muttered as the shuttle sped away. Daddy? Celeste couldn't believe her eyes. Kai had made it just in time to stop the attack. Daddy! She gleamed with joy, but his face shared the same sorrow as her grandfather's. Celeste, he whispered as his skin evaporated into smoke. I love you. His words crept through the glass, reaching her for the last time before combusting into oblivion in front of her eyes. Kaboom! No! She let out a blood-curdling scream as her world came crashing down while Kai and Rav are gone. Roland, critically injured Celeste, was finally vulnerable to attack. Black Star took a deep, calm breath as her eyes returned to silver and prepared for one last attack. The orb in her palm grew 10 times the size of the previous ones with lightning that snapped around it. Now we're done, she uttered in redemption. Dark Wave! Attack! Woof! The blast hurtled right at Celeste as she spiraled into a full panic. Why me? She shuddered in distress as her nerves tingled unlike anything she had ever felt before. The force of energy peeled the metal off the ship and rattled like an unsteady cage. That's it! Celeste shut her eyes in fear as the light inside the cockpit turned to darkness. Crash! The sound of chaos rang through her ears, followed by complete and utter silence. I'm alive. But how? She peered out the window to discover the barely intact shuttle drifting into the vastness of space. This changes everything. Black Star stood dumbfounded over the remains, contemplating what she just witnessed. Roland choked on a pool of his own blood while gasping for air. Well, aren't you the strong one? She approached him, then placed her boot on his broken arm, applying pressure to it. Ah! He grit his teeth in discomfort. Where did they send the girl? She leaned in with interrogation. Roland darted his glazed, bloodshot eyes at her. Go to hell! He spat in her face. She wiped her cheek with contempt, then applied more pressure. Crunch! Arrgh! He shrieked, writhing in pain as the bones rubbed against each other. You first. Pow! She savagely punched through his chest plate as if it were made of plywood. Arrgh! Roland let out a beastly groan as his life drained from his body, while she slowly removed her fist, leaving a cavity of muscle tissue and bone. You will! His eyes faded, and the fire that burned valiantly upon his head did the same. Never win! He shook in defiance as his vision of her dimmed to black. And that concludes the first 3 chapters of The Sun Guardian. Please, if you are interested, you can check out the book on Amazon, Goodreads, and Barnes & Noble. The Sun Guardian Part 1 is available now, also in hardcover and paperback and Kindle. I want to give a big special thank you to Fresh Brownie Production and everyone involved on this project. Thank you, and good night.